Hello everyone and welcome to Sewing Report Live After Dark. We're going to get into it. Brother has released a new lineup of sewing machines and a very interesting printer that we're going to take a look at. I've managed to find prices for some of these items and they will make your eyes pop out of your head. Hope everyone's having a great one so far. And before we get into things, I would like to thank today's live stream sponsor, the Sewing Report Etsy shop. This channel is not yet monetized, so I am plugging my own Etsy shop. I sell fabric, sewing supplies, and now some handmade items as well. In fact, we're going to be talking about some of these items this evening, but check it out, and it really helps. All of your support honestly really does help keep this channel going. We are not yet monetized, but we are on our way. In fact, I only need about 250 more subscribers. So if you're here watching and you like this channel, help me get to monetization status here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, like, leave a comment, participate in the chat. It all helps. We're sort of monetized, but not really monetized, but you can at this point now leave super chats in the live chat room. But there are no ads. I know not everyone likes ads, but let's be real here. AdSense is what keeps channels like this one going, so it is all appreciated. But let me know if you're here and you're watching. Let me know where you're watching from. I got the music going for now, but we will turn this off. I've also got some really cool stuff to talk about because I literally just got a really cool delivery today and I just filmed another video to talk about that. So I might give you guys a little bit of a preview of the next sewing report video, and this is it. This is from our friends at Sew Tights. Now this is not sponsored, but they did send me this. So we are going to be, I filmed something, did like sort of a first impressions video. So I think that'll be a lot of fun when that gets going, but I hope everyone's having a great night so far. I have not eaten dinner yet, but it is almost 8 o'clock. We did get started a little bit early, but let's check everything out. So, all right, so the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I saw Brother has put out some new products, and man, the price tags on these ones are gonna make your heads spin. I was like, holy shit. And also, this is gonna be a little more of an unfiltered live stream. Also, you might hear my husband gaming in the background and cursing occasionally. Hey, it is what it is. But I want to bring this up because I saw these machines and I was kind of intrigued. Again, I can't afford any of these, but it is what it is. And I want to talk about this because I think it's pretty interesting. All right, so let's bring this up. Okay, so Brother has announced these. Okay, so the first thing is they've got this new printer out, and it's a printer that prints on fabric. I know that's something that is going to be intriguing to a lot of people who sew and quilt. So I did do a little bit of research on these products. So we're going to be going over all of these. So this is a combo sewing and embroidery machine, the Stellaire2 Innov-ìs XJ2. By the way, just a piece of feedback from Brother. I personally find the model names of all of the machines a little bit like hard. They're a little challenging. Like, they're not easy to remember. They've got all these letters and numbers, and there's I was getting them mixed up. So especially when you're trying to look up these machines, you're like, is this the latest generation? Is this the the older one? I don't know. So we've got the Stellaire2 Innov-ìs XJ2, the Stellaire2 Innov-ìs XE2. See what I mean with these names? I feel like they could simplify the names a little bit and make them just easier to remember and roll off the tongue. These just don't. This is an embroidery only machine, and it comes with a bunch of Disney designs. So we'll be looking at that. Man, the prices of these though, I'm just like, yeah. There's also this Entrepreneur One PR1X single needle embroidery machine. But the thing about this one is that it looks more like a commercial machine, but it only has a single needle. I'm not really sure who this one's for. We're going to take a closer look at all of these. This is just sort of a brief overview. This is the PrintModa Studio Fabric Printer. And this is like the new thing. I have not, like, I've seen some products, like, they're a lot more expensive. They're like the direct to garment printers, like the DTG. You can also do sublimation printing. But this one, I did look it up, and it uses regular printer ink, which is kind of, you know, a new thing. Then there is the PQ1600S high-speed straight stitch sewing and quilting machine. This is coming out pretty soon. I actually kind of think this is a cool looking machine, and the price isn't crazy. And most of these machines are tapping into the Art Brothers proprietary Art Spira app. Now, y'all know how I feel about the Art Spira app. Overall, I'm not really a fan. No offense, brother. And again, this by the way, this brother obviously has nothing to do with this whole show. I don't think they probably wouldn't approve of a lot of the stuff I'm saying, which is why this is not sponsored by any other company. But so far, I'm not super impressed by the Art Spira app. I did a video over on the main Sewing Report channel trying it out for the PE900 embroidery machine, and I wasn't really wowed by the Art Spira app. I personally would not pay more for machines that have this technology. In fact, I wasn't even that impressed by the Wi-Fi on the PE900. I thought it was pretty glitchy, not very reliable, and the price difference between the PE800 and the PE900, I'm not sure if it's worth it. I have both machines just for the nature of research and to show you all like what the differences are. I do personally think that the PE900 runs a bit smoother than the 800. I do think there's a performance difference just in the the sewing machine like motor or whatever it is, but in terms of all of these extra other features, I'm like not really like wowed by it, if you get what I'm saying here. So we will be looking at these machines. Now, we all know that the buying process for sewing machines can be like kind of mysterious. Like, I feel like that's still super outdated. And like I feel like I should be able to find a price for the sewing machines or for the embroidery machines or whatever it is. But still, many of these manufacturers for like the super high-end machines, you can't find the price online. And I guess that's like a rule with all of the sewing machine dealers, is that only certain machines you can advertise the price online, which is kind of ridiculous. And as a customer, I find that really stupid. So I'm not really a fan of that. Although I was kind of digging around today online, I did notice Bernina and Baby Lock are getting better at putting more transparent pricing on the website. On the Bernina site, I was looking this up earlier, most of their machines you could find a price for, which was super helpful. And on Baby Lock, I noticed, and it wasn't always like this, but on the Baby Lock website, I think pretty much all of the machines had a manufacturer suggested retail price, or MSRP, which I thought was a good step in the right direction. These prices were still crazy. Like, one of the machines was $20,000, and I was like, wow, just wow. And I really wonder sometimes, who are the customers for these like 20K machines? I don't know hardly anyone that would buy one of those machines. Like, if I was gonna do that, I would probably get it used. But like, I want to know how many customers they actually have buying these like ridiculously high-end state-of-the-art machines, because it ain't me. And I have a sewing YouTube channel, and this is what I like do for a living, and I'm not even remotely interested in buying a $20,000 sewing machine. I feel like it's a little bit out of touch with the average person. Like how many buyers do they have? Do they have 50? Like, I would imagine, if I had to guess, I would say all of these models would have 100 or fewer actual purchasers. Like not an influencer that got it for free, but someone who actually paid for it. Now I know the MSRP is often not what people pay. You can negotiate, or the dealer will throw in a bunch of extras. You know, they got the 0% interest financing, which I'm not really a fan of financing sewing machines myself. But I feel like that price, that sticker price isn't necessarily what the customer pays. Like if it's $20,000, maybe you only end up paying $17,500, and you trade in, you trade in the $20,000 sewing machine you bought last year, and you get so maybe it only costs you a few $1,000s to upgrade. I feel like these dealers are always trying to incentivize you and push you to upgrade your machine. I'm not like really into that lifestyle myself, but I'm sure that happens. But I really want to know how many people are actually buying these like top of the line, latest innovation machines, because like you gotta be a real baller to do that. That's just my opinion. All right, let's take a look at some of these machines. All right, so the first one we want to get into, let me bring this up here. Sorry guys, I got a bunch of stuff going on my screen here. All right, so is their new lineup? It's like the brother experience, where technology meets inspiration. I'm sure the brother people, if they watch this, are going to be like, probably not happy with this live stream, but whatever, because we are trolling the prices. So let's take a look at this Disney combo sewing and embroidery machine. This is the Stellaire2 Innov-ìs XJ2. Again, these names, I just feel like they're like a little tough. You know what I'm saying here? Just my opinion here. Okay, so this is the Stellaire Innov-ìs Stellaire2. Yeah, see, I can barely say this. Innov-ìs XJ2 sewing and embroidery machine. It is a large 9.5 by 14 inch embroidery area. That is very nice. 56 inches of workspace. A spacious 11.25 inch throat space from the needle to the arm. It's got the wireless Art Spira integration. Let's take a look at some of these pictures. Notice they don't, they ain't giving you the price here. This thing must weigh like a ton. This looks like a super heavy machine. Here's all the accessories you get. You get a bunch of hoops. You get like the pedal. You get a knee lift, a bunch of other crap. Here's third. Now, I don't know about you. I'm not really like a Disney person myself, so the Disney designs really aren't like a draw for me. Okay, that's them embroidering like a jean jacket. Okay, happy lady working on, is she like quilting? Is she like using her embroidery machine to quilt? All right, here's a little, we'll take a look at the video. All right, I feel like we've seen these pictures already. Okay, let's take a look at the video, and I don't know. Let me know if you can hear the sound on this.
Hey, I'm Nikki,
right, can you guys
and people
hear
are
sound?
always telling me I'm unique. No kidding, I say. Everyone is unique.
Okay, she put
but
like
then they say,
like
no,
a dog
Nikki,
on her sweatshirt.
you are
okay, here's
extra
her dog wearing a
unique.
sweatshirt.
Maybe
Okay,
it's
that's
because
pretty
I'm
extra.
always making things.
All right.
And the new Stellaire2,
I do kinda like
it's
the flashy
made for
B-roll
people
they
who
made.
make things. The Stellaire2 is packed
their
with features I
that embroidery
love.
machine
It's
function
loaded
does
with
look pretty
cool
cool.
technology, including
The dog is
wireless
loving it,
connectivity, so I can transfer
looks
designs
like it's
to
got a
and
bunch of
from my
built-in
machine.
built-in
And with the
designs and
Art
stuff.
Spira app, I can easily bring
Okay.
my wildest ideas
She's
to
using the
life.
Art
I
Spira app,
totally
which, by the
love
way,
the embroidery
I'm not really a
capabilities,
fan of.
like the exclusive
All right, there's
built-in
Mickey
designs,
Mouse. All
including...
right, let's take a look at some of the other features. Okay, so here's some of the features. It's got, like, it's a fully loaded machine, and this is like the latest and greatest. Okay, my custom stitch. Okay, allows you to create a stitch of a pattern, save it. I think this also has a thing where you can sort of do basic auto digitizing for the embroidery machine, because I saw one of their older models had that too. So I'm going to guess it has that as well. Yeah, create custom designs. Okay. I feel like this one has something where you can like do a photo or something. I feel like an older model had it. I don't know. What does everybody think about this? Look at this. This is like one big ass LCD display as well. So I mean, again, this machine has a lot of stuff. No-sew sewing. What the hell is that? The Savvy No-Sew Sewing feature allows you to remove different design aspects before you start so you can see what you do not want to stitch. That's kind of interesting. No more rehooping. Okay. Okay, that is a very large hoop size. Okay, it's got a digital dual feed foot, so it's got a very nice walking foot. That's pretty cool. And I will give Brother credit, at least they did produce some videos about the machine to explain the features. They don't always do that, and that can be like kind of frustrating. Now here's the thing, you're probably wondering, Jen, how much is this machine? Like, is it gonna cost me more than a car? And you know, the answer is definitely yes. So here's what I found out, and we'll go to this tab. I could not find pricing for this specific model, but I was over at this website, Ken Sewing Center, and this is like the older version of this sewing machine, and the older version of this new machine is being advertised for $10,000. So how much is this machine? We know it's going to be it's going to be well over $10,000 because the old machine is 10 grand. And I want to ask you, what does everybody think about, like, what do you all think about this machine? If I had to guess, I would guess this machine is probably about $15,000 at least. Probably between $15,000 and $18,000. What do you think about that price for those features? I think, to me, this is like overpriced and overkill. I don't need that much. I just don't need that much sewing machine, in my opinion. You know, that's just what I think. But let me know, what do you think? Let's read some of the comments here. Hold on a second. All right, and thank you everyone watching. Okay. All right, Denise says, I just want a small to medium-sized heavy-duty machine that's easy to use and $500 to $750 or less. Oh, and doesn't weigh 30 pounds. Okay, those are, you know what, and one of the machines that they have might actually, it's a little above that budget, but it might kind of fit the bill for that. So we're going to get to that. Okay. Denise says, I'm not into financing machines either. We didn't even finance our car. Hey, awesome for you. All right, making new dreams come true. Secondhand or refurbished machines is the good way to go. See, that's what I would do too. Like, if I wanted that machine, I would probably wait a couple years until it'd been out for a while, and then I would probably pick it up like from a dealer or from somebody else who was selling it, and I would honestly probably try to get it. I would, you know, be trying to get that thing used. Just, you know, again, just my opinion. You know, I just personally would not pay that much for a sewing machine, and that one, like, you know, that's definitely going to be well over $10,000. We already know that. Like, you can already tell. You know what I'm saying here? So yeah, that's definitely way out of my range. Okay. Okay, oh, and the audio, so you could hear the video, it was just a little low compared to my voice. Okay, good to know. All right, we've got, okay, making new dreams come true. Too much money. Yeah, I would say the same thing. I think that's like way expensive. I don't need all those bells and whistles. Same. All right, Jackie's here. Welcome, Jackie. I would not purchase a sewing and embroidery machine. I have a separate sewing and embroidery machines. Me too. And I've talked about that before because I'm a big believer in unitasker machines. I do not like combo machines. I do not want to get a serger / cover stitch machine, and I do not want to get a sewing and embroidery combo machine. I prefer I really prefer like machines that only do like one thing well. All right, I'm guilty of purchasing a sewing machine with lots of bells and whistles. Never again. So Jackie, I want to know, what was it about that machine that you didn't end up liking or felt like buyer's remorse for? What was it that you wish you had not done? All right, let's take a look at the next machine. All right, let me get this back up here. All right, the next one we're going to take a look at is, this is an embroidery only machine. This is the Stellaire2 I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it, Stellaire2 Innov-ìs XE2. See, brother, like these names are killing me here. Now this has, let's take a look at the products here. Okay. All right, this is loading. This is an embroidery only machine. This is basically like an embroidery only version of the machine we just looked at. So it's going to be a little cheaper, but it has the same general features of the embroidery stuff. It's got a 9.5 inch by 14 inch embroidery area, 56 inches of workspace, 11.25 inch throat space. It's got the Artspira app, wireless integration. So kind of the same thing that we just saw. Sorry guys, I need some water real quick. But I'll let you peruse some of these features here. Now this does have a, here's the thing, I'm like on the Brother PE800 and the 900, I'm not wild about a lot of the built-in designs. Like I personally don't use, I really barely use the built-in designs. So the fact that they come with a lot of designs, for me personally is not a selling point because I just don't really use most of them. So it doesn't matter if they come with 10 or if they come with 500. I'm probably not going to be using these things. So that's just my opinion. All right, let's, is this the same video we just saw? Let's see. She looks super pumped about her sewing room.
I'm Nikki, and people are always telling me I'm unique.
Okay,
no
yes,
kidding, I say.
video. Okay. Watch your designs come to life. Yeah, the Disney stuff is not real. And I try, now if you haven't seen my video, I do have a video where I try out the create custom designs on the Artspira app. I was very underwhelmed by it. Let me just say that. It doesn't do auto digitizing on the Artspira app. You basically like can take your like stylus and draw on an iPad or your phone. So basically you can do like however good you can draw like stick figures and stuff, that's what you can embroider. And that's not something that I personally really need. I don't think I'm that great of a drawing person. So for me that was not super great. All right, now this one does have 2-point positioning feature. So it has an LED pointer so you can get precision, accuracy, positioning, and will light up your fabric. Cool. And it has a couching embroidery foot. That is kind of neat. So you can embroider letters with yarn with a cool 3D effect using the couching embroidery foot. You can create upper and lowercase letters. So I wonder if that means you can do like chenilles, you know, chenille stuff. I don't know. All right, it's got the Disney stuff, not really my thing. It's got the wireless. Again, I don't love that feature. I'm gonna guess this has jump stitch trim. I'm gonna guess since my P900 has it, and that's a much lower end machine, I'm gonna guess this has it as well. Easy Echo and Deco Fill. Okay, here's the included accessories. That's a lot, you know, it comes with a bunch of stuff. That hoop is huge. And surprisingly enough, I was actually able to find a price on it. This Ken's Sewing Center, this appears to be the same machine. Like I was trying to figure out if this was the latest model or not. And the pictures are the same, so I'm gonna guess this is the latest one. I could be wrong, but this embroidery machine is advertised at about $7,500. And it comes with a bunch of stuff. So it actually comes with the new Brother PrintModa Studio Fabric Printer. And this apparently is about $1,000. So it comes with like $3,000 worth of bonuses. Comes with the Angela Wolf Academy. It comes with a magnifier. Let's take a look at this like little YouTube video here. Let's see if this is any good.
Overview
also,
of the
can you hear the audio on that?
Stellaire2,
You know, we'll turn the audio off. Let's see here. Let's just take a look at this real quick. All right, can you hear this? I don't know.
So you don't have to buy any
I
designs
actually
when you get
can't
home.
hear my audio, so I have no idea what he's saying.
Really nice and easy on the machine. I can pull up a design that I'm wanting to.
All right, let's skip ahead here.
After it, add
This thing also, can we not talk about how both of these machines are like behemoth monsters that probably weigh a lot? Like you would need a lot of storage for this. Okay, so it's got upper and bobbin thread sensor.
That's not going to
I
happen.
imagine this probably does have the jump stitch trim feature. Since this is the latest one, I'm going to guess that has it. I don't know for sure.
Come along. Built into your machine.
What a massive machine though. So this one,
5 inches by.
if this is the same model, which it does look like it is, oh, and you get like a free luggage set. That's cool. This one is $7,500. So what do you guys think about this price for all of that? Do you, is that something that you would pay for? Be honest here. Is that something that you would go for? Let me know. All right, Denise says, the names sound like experimental aircraft, lol. They kind of do. You know, they really do here. That's what I'm like, that's where they kind of lose me, you know what I'm saying? That's where they lose me. I'm just like, I don't know about this, you know what All right, War Paint Unicorns. I've gotten my machine when they are discontinued. Personally, it's worked out better because new models are less tested. That's a good point. My current serger and sewing machine from Janome has served me very well. All right. Okay, Denise says, I do have basic Brother sewing machines and love them, easy to use and idiot proof. You know, that is a good testament for Brother. They do make solid machines that are entry level. They do have again, machines like that are crazy expensive, but they do have a lot of entry level, more affordable models. So they have a lot of stuff in different prices. All right, for me as a cosplayer, I would rather have a basic embroidery machine where I design my patterns with a larger hoop for fabric panels. I'm still waiting for that. You know, yeah, same. I would just like the P900, my one gripe with it is that I think they should have made the hoop bigger, the hoop size bigger. If they had done that with like a 6 by 10 inch hoop, I think that would have been like an absolute slam dunk, no brainer to upgrade. But the fact that the hoop size is still the 5 by 7 size, that's the same as the P800, it kind of bums me out. All right, Jackie says, mainly so many stitches I haven't used and never will. I've been sewing for many years. When I was able to afford a machine with all the bells and whistles, I let a salesperson talk me into buying it. That is another thing, I kind of like shopping online because it's low pressure and nobody's going to try to pressure you into buying a machine you don't need. My most expensive machine was $2,500 and I even felt like that was more machine than I needed and a salesperson talked me into it. So, you know, I think dealers can be great to go to get a feel for the machine, use it in person. But, you know, the car salesman-y tactics do kind of turn me off as a person. So, I don't know. Just what I think. All right. Oh. All right. Making new dreams come true. No, too expensive. I could find a Janome 4-thread for half the price. You know, hey, that's fair. That is fair. Okay, so let's take a look at another machine, and I need some water here. All right, let's look at... Okay, now this next one, I'm just confused about. I'm honestly confused as to who this is for. And this is the Brother Entrepreneur One PR1X. Now, this looks like a commercial embroidery machine and it has 4 thread cones. So you're like, oh, is it a 4-needle machine? This is what baffles me about this one. It's a single needle machine, a freaking single needle machine. Oh, and wait till you look at the price because you're going to fall out of your chair if you haven't yet. So let's take a look at the features for this one. Okay. All right, it'll take a second to load here. Okay. So this one has an 8 by 12 inch embroidery area. Honestly, that's not even bigger than the last machine we looked at. It's got a crosshair 2-point positioning laser, a single needle versatility. So here are the features for the Entrepreneur One PR1X. Why is it single needle? If you're going to buy a commercial-ish machine, I wouldn't buy it if it just said a single needle. That's just me being real here. All right, it's got a generous workspace, built-in embroidery designs. Again, don't really care about that. Funky fonts. Don't really know if I care about that either, unless they're really good, which most of them are not. It's got a 7-inch built-in high-def LCD display, LED lighting, bobbin feature, save time with the vertical bobbin for easy bobbin changes without removing your hoop, and the side bobbin winder so you can wind a new bobbin while the machine is embroidering. All right, that's sort of cool. I don't know if it's going to be worth the price. Library of online tutorials, on-screen editing. Okay, here's a... All right, let's take a look at some of the photos. Now, what I do like about this is one challenge with your home embroidery machine with single needle is that it's not conducive for doing things like shirt pockets or hats. This one does have a much better workspace if you're doing like projects like that. All right, but my beef is that it's got like, why just one needle? Like, brother, really, why? Like, I just want to know, if you just want to get a single needle machine and you're more of a beginner, you're not going to buy this one. And if you're doing it as a business, you're also not going to buy this one because you're going to want more than one needle. All right, let's take a look at this little video. Again, I don't know if there's
when a
audio
creative person finds the right tool, magic happens. The Entrepreneur One PR1X is built with makers like you in mind. It's a machine that you can do a lot with. The PR1X is a single needle, free arm embroidery machine, and it's incredibly versatile with the ability to embroider hard to reach places. A 7-inch touchscreen display to view built-in designs and fonts, fast embroidery speeds up to 1,000 stitches per minute, and a large 12 by 8-inch embroidery area. The PR1X has a vertical bobbin for quick changes, a side bobbin winder for efficiency, and an easy thread color change system to help keep you productive and profitable. The Crosshair 2-point positioning laser will light up your fabric to see where the needle will drop and help you align designs for pinpoint embroidery placement. That's what the machine can do. As for what you can do with it, well, we can't wait for your next collab.
Because of that space, you can do different types of items. And let me know if there's audio on that. I don't know if there's just music or something. I have no idea. Okay, but wait till I show you the price. Okay, wait till I show you the price for this, because you're going to be like, you're just going to be confused when I show you the price. Okay. All right, this is, I was able to find this is Aurora Sewing Center. All right, the manufacturer suggested retail price for this machine is $10,000. The sale, okay, so the ad was too loud. Okay, sorry about that. All right, we'll work on that. All right, here's my thing with this one. All right, on sale, like the promotional price is $7,000. $7,000. Now it has some cool features. And again, this one comes with like, I think as a bonus, it came with like magnetic hoops or something. So that is pretty cool. I'm just not sure who this is for. Now, here's the thing. What I do like about this is because it has a more commercial body type, you can do items like hats, shirt sleeves, because you can't really do those on a regular home embroidery machine. You can do like, you know, shirt pockets. But here's my thing. If you are newer to embroidery or you only do it as a hobby, are you going to spend $7,000 on an embroidery machine? Hell to the no. You're going to get like the Brother PE800 or the Brother PE900 that costs like $1,200 max. And if you are doing this as a business or more serious, like a commercial operation, you can get a multi-needle commercial embroidery machine for about the same price or a little bit more. But I don't see anyone who... I just am not sure who this is for, quite frankly. Unless you just have a lot of money to burn and you want to, like, you know, try this out. I don't know. Like, if this was you, like, the max I would pay for this is, like, maybe $2,000. You know, I do like the workspace area, and I do think some of the features look cool. But if I have $7,000 to spend on an embroidery machine, I'm not buying that. I'm buying the commercial multi-needle machine. You know, I just don't understand. I really don't understand why this is a single needle machine. That makes no sense. The fact that you have to change out the thread color every time you switch would be a pain in the ass. I just wouldn't do it. But the fact that this is $7,000 is laughable to me. Like, I really don't get it. So, I don't know. What do you think about that price, and how much would you pay for this Brother Entrepreneur One PR1X, knowing that it only has one freaking needle, you know, and it's $7,000. Now you can get, the multi-needle machines are expensive, but you can get a used one for probably even less than this. I just don't understand this machine. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know who's buying this unless it's just like a fool with way too much money. I don't know. It ain't gonna be me. I honestly don't know who the hell is this for? Like, that's what I want to know. I just honestly I'm baffled by this machine because I can't figure out who Brother is trying to target as a customer. Again, if you're a hobbyist, you're not going to spend $7,000 on an embroidery machine unless you're really dumb. I don't know. Or you have like way too much money and you don't know what to do with it. If you are doing this as a business, you're also not buying this because you are getting a multi-needle machine. Like, that's just a fact. Like, I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I'm just super confused about that, and that makes like zero sense to me. So that's just sort of a rant about that machine because, you know, would I enjoy using it? Maybe, but I'm not paying $7,000 for that thing. I think that's just like really, really weird. I don't know. I'm really confused by that, and I really don't get it. All right. I need to take a quick break from this rant to get some water. Okay, the next one I'm also a little bit confused about as well because I'm not really sure what the deal is. And the machine I'm talking about here is the this PrintModa Studio Fabric Printer. Okay, so you can technically print on fabric with like really expensive DTG machines, direct to garment. There's machines like that where you can print out designs on like t-shirts and other items. So this is a printer that prints on like proprietary sheets or rolls of, I imagine, like kind of stiffened cotton fabric. Okay, I did not want to do that. Hold on a second, guys. I gotta go back here. I'm trying to open in a new tab so I don't lose this page here. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. So this is the Brother PrintModa Studio Fabric Printer model HLJF1. So this, here's what it looks like. It kind of looks like your standard printer at first. All right, here's some photos. So you can print out, okay, so that's cool. You can print out like kind of a long banner or something, or like a panel. And you have to buy like their fabric. Like, I think it only prints out on the proprietary like Brother brand fabric. And you can get them in either sheets or rolls. It looks like the roll is about $100, so that's pretty expensive. And from what I understand, it uses like their regular printer ink. So they came up with some way to print on the fabric and make it permanent. And you're using like you don't have to use like special printer ink. All right, so let's take a look at this. This says, the future of crafting and sewing has arrived. The revolutionary PrintModa Studio Fabric Printer prints a custom designs, personalized patterns, and even celebratory templates in vibrant color on fabric, and will transform your crafting and sewing experience. The PrintModa Studio Fabric Printer is for the maker who seeks creative outlets for self-expression and takes pride in creating authentic custom creations. So it looks like this is also integrated with the Artspira app. And you can also do templates and other projects. So it comes with an ink cartridge set. It comes with a roll of printable cotton fabric. So it prints in full color. All right, it's got 2 print settings, eco mode or full color printing. Wireless enabled, don't care about that. Fast printing speeds. Okay, let's look at this one. I'm going to turn the volume down. All right, I'm going to turn the volume down so it's not like super loud. Okay. All right, let me know if this is super loud. Okay, so here's a little demo. Okay, she's grooving along here. So you can use the Artspira app, and that's kind of how you, I guess, send the designs to the printer. Okay, that banner, I will say that banner is kind of cool. All right, she made some like quilt panels. All right, so that's what it is. So here's what I found out. I was able to find a price on this, and I'm curious to see what everyone thinks. So the manufacturer's suggested retail price is like $1,600. I've seen a couple different sewing dealers advertise this for about $1,000. So this, you can pick up the PrintModa Studio Fabric Printer for about $1,000. So here's the printable cotton fabric. So this, it comes with a bundle, and this looks like it's about $100. So that's kind of expensive. So here's what it looks like. And also I linked in the description box a video. This is More Sewing. I actually met them a few years ago at QuiltCon. George Moore, he was a cool guy. And he has a really good demo if you want to see how this works. I do find it kind of an interesting product. So yeah, $999, $999. So, all right. So, and also it looks like you can print on clear matte vinyl as well. All right, here's another photo. All right, so here's kind of my, yeah, War Paint Unicorns. It looks like you do need to buy their like proprietary fabric rolls or sheets to use this product. So I don't believe you can just take any fabric you have and print on it. I think you need to buy their stuff, and the roll of fabric is $100. That's not cheap at all. Here's my kind of questions about this product. I think it's kind of an interesting concept, but to me it's more of a novelty product or like a gimmick. Much like the Ditto sewing pattern projector, I don't see a use for that product myself, and here's why. I don't often really need like custom printed fabric. I've never had I don't make a lot of like memory stuff or stuff with photos. I'm not a designer, so if I'm looking for like fabric to sew with, like let's say this like holiday fabric, like if I'm looking for like holiday fabric or any other type of fabric, I can usually find something that fits my needs, and it's a lot cheaper. I don't have to buy a $1,000 printer. I can just use whatever I can find. There's also other websites where you can get, like I think Joann's even has a like custom fabric, printing thing now too. There's Spoonflower. There are plenty of like websites or apps where you can get your designs printed out on fabric. And like with Spoonflower, that's not like a cheap option, but you can get it printed on a number of different substrates. You can get it printed on knit fabric, cotton fabric, silk, polyester. I find this Brother Studio Moda printer thing to be a little bit limiting. So you can only print on cotton fabric, their proprietary fabric. Who knows how that's going to hold up? I have questions about the longevity of like the print on the fabric. If you're making an heirloom quilt, is this going to last for 50 years, or is it going to eventually like wear away. I just spend $1,000 on that, and then to also not really, have a lot of factors up in the air like that, that really puts me off to buying it. And like, if you just need like a one-off custom fabric print, you can go to Spoonflower, maybe spend like $50 or something, and not have to spend $1,000 plus buy all of the Brother branded paper and like printer ink. So like, again, this is another situation where I'm not really sure. This again feels very gimmicky to me. I'm not really sure who this is really for. Like, again, I do sewing as a YouTube living, and I don't have a need for this fabric printer. Like, I feel like there's more cost-effective ways to get to the same spot, Maybe it's just me. I think it's very expensive. I'm not convinced this is something that a lot of people need or want to buy. Like, again, unless you just got way too much money and you don't know what to do with it, I'm just not sure, I'm really not sure who this is supposed to be for. I don't know. And that if I need to make a bunch of custom gifts, I'm not the type of person that's putting like photos of stuff on sewing projects. I like to use cute fabric, but I don't really need I'm not the type of person that needs that does a lot of photo sewing projects. And again, even if I was, I could probably get, I could just do Spoonflower or something for the few occasions I might need something like that. So I'm not really sure who this is for. It's not for me. If that's something for you, let me know in the chat or in the comments. All right, the nice thing about sublimation ink is that you can convert a $300 printer that can be fed the ink liquid. You void the warranty, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper option. Yeah, I've kind of watched some sublimation printer videos, and yeah, it seems cool. And yeah, that's the thing, you don't need to, that's a lot less than $1,000, and you don't need to use their proprietary fabric products. You can print a full bolt of fabric with Spoonflower if need to. Yeah, Spoonflower already exists, other things like that. Again, I think Joann's even has something of that nature too that I checked out. I just don't know who this is for. Jackie, most of us probably don't even have a space for a lot of these large machines. Plus, how often would you use it unless you own a business? Exactly. And that's the thing. If you have a business, you can get a DTG printer or a sublimation printer or something that's, more meant for a business. Again, this Studio Moda fabric printer seems like it's for more of a hobby thing, but that's really expensive for something that's meant for hobbyists. All right, Denise G, lots of cool bag quilt projects using photos printed on fabric. If you're going to make a lot of gifts, craft sale items, maybe it's worth it. I would go in on one with a group of friends or something. That's a really good idea. If you do have some family members or some friends who need it, it would be a lot more cost effective if you are going to share it, because I just don't see myself needing something like that really ever. And if I did, I would just go to Spoonflower and be able to get whatever type of fabric I wanted to. That's another thing I find limiting, is that you could only use there aren't a lot of options for what type of fabric you're printing on. I sew as a hobby, and after purchasing an expensive sewing machine, embroidery machine, and serger, thanks to Bernina and Baby Lock, not interested in a $1,000 printer. Yeah, me either. Maybe if it was $400 or $500, and I had a lot of flush excess cash, I might consider trying it out. But that's the thing. You not only have to buy the printer, you have to keep buying the ink for it. And every time you want to buy a roll of fabric, you can have, you need to pay $100. That's kind of expensive to me. I don't know. That just seems a little, it just seems a little, I don't know, kind of overpriced. All right, let's go to the last machine that Brother has announced. And this one I actually like. So this is a high-speed straight stitch sewing and quilting machine. This is the PQ1600S. I've seen, now Brother has other machines like this. Juki has a very similar, oh, I didn't even bring this up, sorry, okay. So again, this is the PQ1600S. Juki has a couple pretty similar machines. Janome has a couple very similar machines. And I actually like this. I think this would be great for quilters or for people who are just doing more like basic sewing. Let's be real, a lot of us only really use the straight stitch most of the time. This looks like a fairly good workhorse. So this says the optimum machine for speed and precision. The Brother PQ1600S sewing and quilting machine belongs to in the sewing room of every serious quilter and sewist. With modern cosmetics, heavy-duty construction for sewing and quilting at high speeds, and advanced features such as push-button automatic thread trimmer, oh that's cool, that allows you to save time without compromising the quality of your sewing projects. The Brother PQ1600S sewing and quilting machine is ready to take on any project. All right, so I was able to find a price on this. Let me find this, and I was actually pretty impressed. So Brother is advertising this with a manufacturer suggested retail price, MSRP, of about $1,000. I think that's actually a really good price for this because the Juki one, I believe, they have a couple different versions, and those I think range from like $750 to like $2,000. They have a few different ones. This looks like it's like their version on the Juki machines. All right, it's got 7 included accessory feet, an extra large workspace. It definitely has an extension table. That's very nice. 1,500 stitches per minute. That's cool. And it looks like a good basic, now this is a mechanical machine, so this is not computerized. But again, that means easier to fix, simple, you know, less that can go wrong. And this looks like a machine that will last you a while. Oh, this also has a knee lift. That's cool. Great for sewing projects. A lot of different feet. I wonder if you can put a walking foot on that, but hey, I was able to hack my Juki, so there's got to be a way. Okay, oh, look at this. Okay, feed dog adjustments. Push button thread cutter, that's very nice. Custom needle stop position, oh that's cool. Oh, that's nice, because my Juki does not have that. So you can program it to be in the up or down position whenever you stop the machine. That's a really great feature. Built-in cone thread, knee lifter, tension thread tension adjustment, dial, pin feed mechanism. Allows you to exchange the use of the feed dogs for a single pin that clearly extends from beneath the machine, moving all layers of your quilt together, or moves a delicate velvet without leaving feed dog marks in the nap. That's cool. All right, it comes with a general purpose foot, rolled hem foot, zipper foot, invisible foot, 1/4-inch foot for quilters, free motion quilting foot, pin feed foot, knee lifter fabric separator, don't really know what that is, feed pin changer, fabric extension table, dust cover, semi hardcover. I think this looks like a pretty good machine. There's more of the specs here. I think this looks pretty cool. Honestly, I think that, and even though this is the MSRP, I imagine that promotional price will probably be a little bit lower. Maybe it'll be like $750 or $850. If you can get this machine for about $750, I think that is a fantastic value. This looks like a great mid-level machine for people who sew and quilt. I like this. I think this is, out of all of the machines we've looked at, even though this is like the most basic machine, in my opinion, this is my favorite. I like this. I think the price is pretty good. And I think the promotional price is probably going to be lower than, I imagine this is going to be $750 or like $800, $850. I think this looks like a cool machine. I actually would be interested in seeing this one in person and trying it out. Let's see how much this weighs too. Let's see here. Let's see how much this weighs. Dimensions, I don't know if that'll be here. Oh wait, oh here. All right, it weighs 23 pounds. So hey, for I believe it was Denise, this one is under 25 pounds. So it is a little bit more portable. It probably is still fairly heavy, but you know, I mean, that's not bad. Out of all of the machines we've seen on this lineup, I gotta say, I think this one is like definitely my favorite so far. I think this is going to appeal to the most people. I think this is the one with the price that makes the most sense to me. I don't know. What does everybody think? Because I personally really like this. I think this looks like oh, cool. This is a new option with StreamYard. I think this one actually looks really cool. So I don't know. I like it. If you can get this for about $750, I think this is a slam dunk. If you're looking to get like a more mid-level, like to slightly more advanced machine, you could probably do a lot of clothing on it too. I think that probably work pretty well for garment sewing. I think that one looks really cool. Okay. Oh, does the straight stitch have speed control? Let's take a look real quick. Hold on a second. All right, let's take a look. This looks like a really cool one though. Let's see, specs. All right, I'm looking here. Oh wait, did I pass it? I just saw something that I thought was, let's see here. Okay, no speed control. So that is one negative, that it doesn't have a lever on it to control the speed. So unfortunately it does not. So far, that seems to be the only downside I'm seeing with it, is that it does not have that feature. But overall, I think this looks like a really good machine, in my opinion. All right, Jackie says, it appears to be very similar to the Juki TL2010Q, which is about the same price. Yeah, I think this seems to be Brothers' version. The Juki HZLF600 has a lot of the same features for less money. Hey, good suggestion here. Might be worth a comparison if one is shopping for one. The speed would be the biggest difference. Yeah, not having the speed control is a bit of a negative. Workhorse machines are always a nice investment. Yes, they are. And in fact, I've been using my Juki Industrial most of the time. Again, I have the Brother CS7000i. I think it's a great beginner machine. But for my daily driver, I've been mostly using the Juki, and I love it. I've got the, why can't I think of the name right now? I have a bunch of videos on it on my main channel. I'm just spacing on the name right now. The DDL 5700, I think, something like that. I'm just spacing on the name. But I have links in the description box, and I have some videos on the main Sewing Report channel of using this. All right, Denise G. I do like the straight stitch. I mostly quilt, piecing, and free motion quilting and bags. This would be perfect. I'm having issues with my new Juki TL18 and would love to try this. I think this Brother looks pretty promising overall. The speed control is a difference of about $400. Woo! Okay. Well, I guess we can see why Brother did not add that feature. If, if that would have made the price like $1,500, maybe that would be like a turnoff for people. I don't know. What does everybody think about all of these machines? Let's be real here. The super bougie ones, nobody's buying those. I'm really confused by that single needle embroidery machine that costs $7,000. Don't get that. I'm also really confused on who that fabric printer is for, because I just don't really have a need for it. So I'm just a little bit confused. Most of the machines I would say are a no for me. I would say that straight stitch machine was probably the best one I've seen. So that's hey, my opinion. What does everybody think though? I'm just curious. And are you not blown away by the astronomical prices of some of these things? I'm just holy crap. I don't know who that's for. All right, let's give another shout out real quick. Sorry, I get really congested the longer I talk. And also, I want to explain the reason I haven't been live streaming the past couple weeks is because I was sort of sick. I had like a head cold or like a sinus infection, and I just literally, I wouldn't be able to do like a live stream or like long videos because like my voice was just not there, and I would be coughing the whole time. But I think it took me a while to get over it. But I just want to, again, shout out to today's sponsor, the Sewing Report Etsy shop, for all of your fabric, sewing supplies, and handmade items. Check it out. Greatly helps. Also, if you are here and you're not subscribed yet, I know for most YouTube channels, this may come as a surprise to you, but most of the views on like pretty much the majority of YouTube channels comes from non-subscribers. So if you are here, I would really appreciate hitting that subscribe button. It really helps. We're fairly close to monetization. I need 1,000 subscribers, and we're about at the watch time. So if I can get over the 1,000 subscriber threshold, baby, we're monetized. You can also leave super chats here on the stream. So if you would like to super chat, that's also greatly appreciated. I know that does cost money, and I totally get it, but that helps keep this channel going because this is a live stream only channel. All right. I also want to talk a little bit about what I got in the mail today. Let me put on the picture-in-picture. Okay, so you're like, what the heck is this, Jen? You're like, this is a cutting mat. And yes, it is. So this was sent to me by our friends at Sew Tights. And just a quick disclaimer, this is not sponsored. They have been a sponsor on the main channel for a couple of videos, but they did not ask, like they sent me this. Again, I did not pay for it. And I do have a business relationship with this company, but they have not told me like jack shit about what to say about this product. They've not given me any sort of like restrictions that a lot of these companies pull like the bullshit. So the reason I like working with Sew Tights is because they don't do that kind of crap and they let me be me. So I really appreciate them. But they sent me this Sew Tights Sew Magnetic Cutting System today. And I just tried it out and shot like a first impressions unboxing video. And it's pretty cool. So here is kind of like the, all right, let me see if I can get this closer so you can see this. So it comes with this little informational card. So this system, yeah, so this is cool. This is a magnetic cutting system. So you already know how much I like these Sew Tights magnets. Now, I've been a long-time customer before I was ever like in business with these people. I bought these myself. I sold these. And I currently sell quite a few of the Sew Tights products in the Etsy shop. So I have, I've used these for years, love them. And they told me they were coming out with this thing. And I talked to Jessica, one of the co-owners of the company. This is a company this is a women-owned company. They live in Montana. Small business, small family-run business. And they've come out with just some really cool products over the years. So this is, and when they were explaining this system to me, at first I was kind of confused. I was like, I don't really get it. And then I saw Jessica do a demo on the product on their YouTube channel, which I would encourage you to check out. And then it like kind of clicked. I was like, okay, I get it. So what this is a 7-layer self-healing cutting mat, and this is magnetized. So this whole cutting mat is magnetized. That's how these things can stick to it. So the cutting system comes with the cutting mat. It comes with this acrylic ruler. This is a 6.5 inch by 24 inch acrylic ruler. It resembles my Creative Grids ruler a bit, but you can see on the ruler itself, it has these magnets. So these are the magnets, and when you put the ruler down on the mat, magnetic technology keeps the ruler, it secures the ruler. So this product was developed for people who have trouble cutting. So it comes with in left-handed versions and in right-handed versions. Also, there is a link. I do not plan on selling this myself in the Etsy shop just because this is such a large, oversized item. The shipping would kill me. So I would encourage you to go to the Sew Tights website. I am also now a Sew Tights affiliate. I just became an affiliate like yesterday. So there is a link down in the description box, so you can pre-order these. Now, I believe they're shipping in September. So it comes with the cutting mat, it comes with the magnetized ruler, and it comes with these little pieces. There's 12 of these. These are called boosters. So you can see they're little cylinders, and they have magnets on them. Oh, yeah, see? Okay. So this one, okay, you can see this repelling. This is sort of cool. And these stick to the cutting mat like this. The other thing, I was playing around with this, so I was like, okay, how do these work? So you can put these on top of the ruler for like added reinforcement. And at first I was like, okay, this isn't sticking very well. And then I realized you have to put the boosters on top of the magnets on the ruler. And like, look how strong this is. Like, check this out. All right, so then I was like, okay, I get it. So when you put these on top of the ruler, like, it really keeps it in place. Now, there is a tiny bit of shifting, but when I'm I did a little bit of experimenting with the cutting, and it was better than I expected overall. So I did try it out. The other cool thing is that if you own So Tight's magnets already, you can use, all right, you gotta take the back off, but you can use your So Tight's magnets on the mat as well. So check this out. So that's kind of cool, isn't it? The thing I'm excited about with this is that you can basically use these as like pattern weights now. So you can use your So Tight's magnets. All right, let me get this off. And you can use this either to hold down like fabric, you can use it to hold down templates. Like, all right, I've got this little pattern piece here. You could use these. All right, let's put some fabric on here. So say I want to trace and cut out pattern pieces. I can, you know, put the pattern piece down and then use my So Tights and the boosters, and then I can use this to like trace around it. So I think that's pretty genius. And I really do like the product. I just got it today, but I was like, oh, this is cool. And just using it and playing around with it, I'm actually like kind of vibing with it. Like I like this. So I like this system. And yeah, you can use this. Imagine if you're using this to cut out like your, you know, garment patterns or something. You can use all of your So Tight's magnets and use those as pattern weights. So you don't have to use actual pattern, you know, regular pattern weights. And your magnetic pattern weights won't move around. So like, say I'm trying to hold this down. Let's get this again. Here, I'll get this. By the way, I sell this holiday fabric in the Etsy shop. I still have a lot of it. So if you're looking for some cute holiday fabric, highly recommend. I'm going to be making some, I got to get my like holiday sewing in gear. I know it's only August still, but hey, we got to do what we got to do. So say I want to cut this out. I can take these. These are the So Tight's lights. These are a little bit lower strength. And notice like this doesn't, like this, you know, these stay in place pretty well. So, you know, I can, you know, trace out a pattern piece and not really have to worry about it shifting around. So I'll kind of demonstrate because I do think this is pretty cool. And I think this is a really, you know, it's not often we see a lot of like new stuff or like game-changing stuff in our world, but I thought this was pretty neat. All right, so let me take this little, like, all right, well, we'll cut a strip of fabric here. Also, this mat is double-sided, and this mat is about 20 by 24 inches, so you can cut a full, like it fits a full fat cord on it, which is very nice. All right, so let's try to cut something here. I'll just demonstrate real quick. So let's say I want to cut a ½ an inch off of here or something. All right, let's just do that. So I'm going to line up my ruler here. And then even on its own, it stays pretty well. And I was kind of trying to test out different, like how much pressure I put with my hand. All right, so here's the thing. When I put the boosters on, I didn't really have to like look at this. When you put the boosters on top of the magnets, this stays pretty well. So I'll show you, let's see how much it shifts. So I'm kind of putting my hand down just to, yeah, look at this. There is absolutely no shifting with the ruler, which is often an issue. At first, I was kind of also a little bit skeptical because I was a little disappointed that this ruler did not have like the non-skid material on the back like my Creative Grids rulers do. But like, check this out. Like you just saw, there's really no shifting. The other thing I'll show you, I have a little quilted, I have a little, you know, this is definitely a thicker piece of, you know, quilted material. So I'll try this out. All right, so let me just put this underneath the ruler here. Now this will come up, but it's like, you really gotta like, you gotta take a lot of pressure here. All right, so let me just, we'll just cut this. We'll do like, I don't know, this is like 2.5 inches. And the other thing you can do is you can take your magnetic boosters and also put it on the fabric as well. So I was like, okay, this is dope. Also, you can, like, this is not very strong here, but you can do that. So here, let me try this. This is on a, like a piece of foam stabilizer and some fabric. And I really didn't have to put a lot of, I'm really not putting like any pressure. Also, I really need to change this cutting blade, but hey, whatever. So we'll do this after the show. But I really didn't have to put very much pressure at all down on the ruler. So I'm really excited about this. I do hope that the, I hope that these, because this is not a cheap product, and we'll get to that. I do hope this cutting mat holds up pretty well. This pink one here is like getting worn out pretty fast. But this is double-sided. This is a very thick, this is definitely a thicker cutting mat than my other one. But I like the idea of this product, and I do think it can help people. So let me show you, and also links are in the description box to the SewTights website where you can pre-order this. I have an affiliate link, and also they gave me a coupon code. So if you use coupon code Sewing Report, you can get 15% off this product or anything else in the SewTights store. Now here's the thing, this is not a cheap item. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let me share this real quick. So here it is on the website. And we'll take a look at some of these photos. I'm liking this. I think this is a cool idea, a concept we haven't, we don't see a lot of new stuff. I also love that the model's nails match the color scheme. So yeah, check it out. Look at, they're using it on a like a tissue pattern. And again, you can use, if you find you don't have enough magnets, you can use your regular SewTights magnets. It works on that. Or I guess you could use any magnets too. So here's one side. So there's a lighter side and then a darker side. So you have two different options. Here's the ruler. And you can get it in a right-handed system or a left-handed system. Now I am left-handed, but I cut with my right hand. So it works for me, but I do like that they've thought of this. Now you're probably like, look at the price. Yes, the price is not cheap. This is $375. And when the marketing person for the company emailed me and let me know this was on the way, I was kind of like, I think this is really cool. I did tell them, I was like, look, the price is going to be a deterrent for probably quite a few people. This is a fairly expensive item. So I think it might, hopefully, I really hope this has free shipping. If it doesn't, I imagine the shipping for this is pretty expensive. But if you want to read about more of the features and the details, it is on the SewTights website, and that is linked in the description box. I do want to add that if you use coupon code Sewing Report, you can get 15% off. I know so hopefully that makes it like slightly more affordable. And I did tell them, I was like, look, I like the idea. I think this is cool. I think the price is going to be a turnoff for a lot of people. And they're like, look, we totally get it. That's the thing I appreciate about SewTights is that they're straight shooters. And they're like, look, this is a pretty expensive product to produce. Also, I imagine it's a very expensive product to like get shipped and everything. These SewTights are not cheap. Like these SewTights are like $22 to $24. And those are just for like small magnets. So imagine having 12 of these, the ruler, and then the cutting mat that's also magnetized. Like they even said that they really tried to lower the margin on it because you know, this already is a very expensive product to make in general. Also, you have to pay for the packaging and everything. And they did tell me, they're like, the people that were most excited about this product are people with like hand issues, mobility issues, hand strength issues. So again, this might not be for everybody, and I totally understand that. I do think the price, it is expensive, and that's, you know, that it is what it is. But the people that are, you know, this might be good for someone who's retired. Maybe you have arthritis and you don't have, you know, it hurts you, you know, you're having pain issues, something like that. It might be better for, you know, for someone who has this in their budget and also may have some health issues, that this might help. So they were kind of trying to emphasize that this is for some, you know, again, for someone who maybe can't quilt or sew because of those issues, maybe this might be a little bit more of an aid. So I do think that was a very reasonable explanation, because when I did see the price, I was kind of like, I got sticker shock, and I was like, whoa, that's definitely not like the cheapest thing. And, you know, I totally understand that. So, you know, just something to keep in mind there. Oh, let's see. All right, I think it's on me. But I did want to talk about that, because I realize that is going to be this might be a cost prohibitive item for quite a few people. Again, hopefully the 15% off coupon code helps. Again, coupon code Sewing Report. Information is in the description box. This is not a sponsored segment at all. But in full disclosure, they did send this to me and I did not pay for it. I like to keep it 100 here. All right, so let's read some comments here. But yeah, what do you think about this? I do think it's really cool. Here's a closer look here. And I'll also, all right, let me, hold on a second. I'm going to kind of zoom in so you can see a little bit better here. Let me zoom in here. Sorry, I'm starting to sniffle here. Also, I really need to change the, the blade in my rotary cutter. It's getting a little bit dull. So this is the cutting mat. These are the 12 magnetic like boosters. I really love the colors too. I think Sew Tights makes really like aesthetically pleasing products, which is cool. Oh, excuse me. Comes with 12 of these. It comes with a mat, and it comes with this 6.5 by 24 inch ruler. And the ruler has these magnets embedded into the ruler itself. So again, I can definitely see why this costs what it does. This is obviously not in everyone's budget, but I do like the product. I think the product is cool. I do think it can help people, especially people who might have those mobility issues or hand strength issues. And that's actually why I like the Sew Tights lights, because they are like a little bit easier for me to like pull apart and then put together. But yeah, look at how strong this is when you put the boosters on top of these magnets that are already on the ruler. Like look at this, is like, it does, like, this is not that easy to move. Like, you kind of shift it around a little bit. Now, my one criticism it would have been cool if this did have the non-skid material on the back, like the Creative Grids. I don't know if maybe there's like some patent issues or something. Maybe like Creative Grids has a patent on that technology, but that would be cool to have. But I do find this pretty easy to use, and so far I do like it. Okay, yeah, it's pretty hard to lift, like, but yeah, you can line this up. Here, I'll kind of do another demonstration here. But it's pretty easy to use, and yeah, I really don't have to hold down my hand very much on the mat. So pretty easy to use. I think it's cute. It comes with quite a few things. So I do like this product. I'm going to be doing a like full video on the main channel, and I also really like that you can use your existing Sew Tights or other magnets, you know, to kind of help hold things down. So yeah, check this out. Yeah, look at this. This isn't really going anywhere here. So I think this product is very promising, and you can check out more by going to the link in the description box to the Sew Tights website. And once again, coupon code Sewing Report, all one word, all caps, for a 15% discount on your order with Sew Tights. You can also purchase Sew Tights magnets, like the smaller ones, from the Sewing Report Etsy shop. Again, this is not a sponsored segment unless you count my own Etsy shop. But I hope you enjoyed seeing a first look at it. Like, literally, I just got this today and I was just playing around with it. All right, let's read some comments. All right, Denise says, Sew Tights has cutting mats now. So cool. I know, right? I think this is a really, like, it's a good idea. And at first, when Jessica was explaining it to me, I really was like, I didn't really get it. But then when I saw them and I saw her demonstration, I was like, oh, this makes total sense. All right, love ruler and cutting mat combos. The lines of the ruler match up perfectly with the lines on the mat, which isn't always the case of mixing other rulers and mats. Yeah, it really does. Like, I think the markings are very clear. And this is pretty, you know, I'm looking forward to trying this out more. And once I have it for longer, I'll probably do like a more long-term review. I've been kind of doing that on the main channel. I want to take products, sorry, my hair is like going all over the place. I want to revisit items like sewing machines or other products I've had for a long period of time and really do like comprehensive and very critical and, you know, legit reviews on items I've owned for years, like 5 years, 8 years. I did one on the Brother Serger, you know, and gave my honest opinion. And that's why I really like doing these like unsponsored, you know, unbiased content for you, because I think it's a lot more helpful, especially when you hear from longtime owners of products on like what issues they've had, how the products have held up over time. And I think that's something that's kind of missing in our sewing community. Like, you see people do unboxing, and really a lot of other niches, you see people do unboxing videos or like first impressions, or they review a product after only owning it for a week, and then you never hear about it again. And I think it's important for us to highlight the long-term, like just the giving a more long-term perspective of things we're buying, because especially when you're spending a lot of money on an item, that's something you want to know, right? All right, Jackie says, with the 15% discount, the price is a lot better. Cutting mats and rulers are quite expensive. You know, that is a good point. Again, this is a pretty pricey product, but it does seem to be like in proportion to what everything else that Sew Tights sells costs. And I get it, you know, especially since this is like an oversized item. Like, the box that came in is very, here, I'll get the box real quick. The box that came in is very big. All right, Denise G says, I would love videos like that. Yeah, that's what I've got in the works. I want to do a 5-year update on the Brother PE800 embroidery machine. And I might do some other videos just on other machines I've owned for a long period of time, or other items like irons, other, you know, I don't know, stuff like that. There's just some things I've got in the works. Here, and I'll show you the box for the cutting mat. Okay. This is what came to my, this is freaking huge, guys. Hold on. Look at this. This is, look how big this is. Also, it was supposed to be delivered yesterday, but yesterday was the day of the hurricane, so FedEx was delayed by like a day just because of storms. The shipping was pretty fast. Again, I'll check the Sew Tights website too to see if the shipping is free. But yeah, if you want to shop Sew Tights, I am now an affiliate. Full disclosure, coupon code Sewing Report, get 15% off your order. But yeah, this is the box, and the box has this nice like carrying handle. And also, this thing had like major, like it had a lot of foam in it to, like, everything came like encased in foam, so that everything was protected, so nothing was damaged. It shipped pretty well. But yeah, like, I think the thing I like about this is actually these like magnetic booster things. I just think these things are like really cool, especially like look how quick they snap onto the roller here. I think this is super dope. So just a quick like product demonstration here. I know I was like, okay, I gotta show this off here because this is fun. All right, we've got Debbie in the house here. Hello, Debbie. Welcome from Pittsburgh. Yes. Have you been to Primanti Brothers lately, by the way? Is that one of your... So I actually went to college outside Pittsburgh, and I love Pittsburgh. I'm not a football fan, but I know the Steelers are awesome. And yeah, so many good restaurants in Pittsburgh too. A lot of stuff to do. I think Pittsburgh is super underrated. And yeah, I love Primanti Brothers. Lots of great. Also Eden Park. Has anyone been to an Eden Park with the smiley face cookies? We don't have them down here in Florida, but that was one of my favorite things to do. Was go to Eden Park and get like cookies. I love the cookies. All right, this is a good question. Denise G, where did your Eversewn end up? So I still have the Eversewn. You know what, I will do. So here's what happened with the Eversewn. I do like the Eversewn. I did use it a lot. Eversewn, that one was also given to me by the company. Like, I'm surprised they gave me one when I had no followers at all. Like, I had like no subscribers, and I was amazed that they just sent me a sewing machine for free. I did use that one in a lot of videos. I do want to do an update. I do think it's a good machine, the Eversewn Sparrow 25. So a relative was like, hey, I want to maybe learn to sew. So I boxed it up for this relative, and then she never ended up coming to get it. So my Eversewn is still, like I had boxed it up all nice. I'd put it back in the original packaging with like the styrofoam and stuff. And then they never came to get it. So I do have the Eversewn. It's just more like in a storage area. You know, it's kind of more in like a storage state. But if you would like to see, let me know if you would like to see a like review on that machine. Again, I think they're all good machines. You know, I really don't have anything like negative to say about the machines I own overall. But you know, hey. But yeah, the Eversewn is a solid machine, and I'm sure it might have gotten a little cheaper because it's been out longer too. All right, I just recently started cutting patterns using pattern weights and my small rotary cutter. Game changer, yeah. Pattern weights are great. And I do really like that these things are like pattern weights. I just think these are really cool. So I'm a fan. I like this. Okay. Oh, Debbie, not lately. Okay. We're talking about Primanti Brothers. I have been there. There's a Primanti's in Florida somewhere. There is. I need to look. All right, yes, Eden Park smiley face cookies. I love sitting in front of the display case with all of those smiles facing me. Those cookies are the bomb. Like, and I remember traveling to Pittsburgh a couple times to like visit people, and I would go home and I would get a box of cookies to take with me home on the plane. And I did that. So lots of fun. Also, if anyone has any like rando questions about anything, I know we have 18 viewers. If you have any questions or comments about anything, now is your chance. You've got me here. I can answer questions. I know people will sometimes like DM or email questions, but if you have a question, I will answer it right now, right here, and let me know. And also, I think I think I'm streaming on Twitch too, I believe. So, but let me know. Yeah, those cookies, man. I have not found, now I have tried crumble cookie. Not quite the same. There's nothing like those Eden Park smiley face cookies in the entire world. I've thought about ordering them. I need to check because sometimes they have free shipping on the cookies. If they have, I need to like get on the mailing list. I've seen a couple times them having like promotions or free shipping. The next time they do that, I'm going to order myself some cookies. Maybe we'll eat those on the stream too. That would be fun. All right, Denise says, maybe add the Eversewn update to the brother videos. Like the idea of comparing sewing and embroidery machines. Although embroidery scares me, not sure I have the patience. Lol. Embroidery can be pretty, let's say this. Embroidery machines can be very like, how can I say, finicky. Finicky is the word. Like if something goes wrong, like it can be very small, your whole design just gets totally messed up. So I feel like with embroidery machines, you have to have all of the like stars aligned. You know what I'm saying? Like the right stabilizer, right fabric, right needle, right like design, you know, all of that stuff needs to kind of be aligned. And if one of those things are out of whack, then the whole stitch out just can be ruined. So I've had that happen to me for sure. But yeah, I would like to do some more kind of update videos on all of the machines, just to kind of let people know, like, hey, here's what I like about it, here's what I don't, as someone who's owned this item for like 5 years. Because I've now had the Brother PE800 for 5, it's been a long time I've owned this machine. So it's been quite a while. But yeah, also finally on Instagram, it's taken me forever, but I finally crossed 11,000 subscribers on Instagram. So thank you everyone who follows me on Instagram. Instagram has like been a total like chaotic mess lately. I don't even know what I'm doing on there, but I find Instagram kind of frustrating, so we'll see. Okay, we got another question. Any additions or updates to the sewing room? Not really. It's kind of a mess in here, so I gotta figure this out. I am going to be doing a couple more videos on the IKEA SCOTUS pegboard because that was such a popular video. And I did install the same system in my bedroom, like office space. So I will be doing an update video on IKEA pegboard system installation stuff. Just because it's been a while since I've done that. I also kind of want to do another video talking about all of the accessories for the IKEA SCOTUS and like which ones I like and which ones I don't like, because some of them I like better than others. So there's that. Yeah, not much going on here. I've just been plugging away here. Okay. Oh, Flawless says, how do you like your Brother PE 900? So, all right, I like it. I like the machine. Here's what I think it runs a little bit smoother than the PE 800. I had my husband look at both of the machines, and he thinks that the PE 900 might have like a different servo motor or something like that, and he thinks that the new machine operates smoother than the PE 800, the old machine, and I would have to agree. I've noticed like not a huge difference, but like a slight difference. I do like some of the features. I like the jump stitch trim feature. That's made my life a lot easier. I think the Artspire app, though, is crap. I'm just going to come out and say it. In fact, I thought about titling that video where I demonstrated the app. I thought about titling that the Brother Artspire app is crap, but I didn't want to make too many people mad. So I went with something a little bit like less offensive. But I think the app is really like shitty. I don't like it. I don't really get the point of it. I don't use it. I don't think it's helpful. I would not buy a machine for that feature. I think the Wi-Fi on the PE 900 is very unreliable, and I don't really plan on using that feature either. The other thing I don't like about the machine, I think that for the price difference, it's several $100s difference between the PE 800 and the PE 900. I absolutely think Brother should have made the hoop size a little bit bigger. If the Brother PE 900 had a it's 5x7, if it was 6x10, I would recommend the machine much more. I would go a lot harder for that one, and I would say this is an awesome machine. I think it's worth the money. At the price it's at now, which you can check on Amazon, I'm technically not really allowed to say the price for Amazon affiliate stuff, but it's way more than I paid for the Brother PE 800, and I think the fact that it has the same hoop size is a travesty. I really wish Brother had made the hoop size 6x10. I would have been a much more satisfied customer about this purchase had the hoop size been a little bit larger. So that's my major gripe, and I think that's the one thing that would have made that machine an absolute slam dunk home run win. But as it is now, I'm not really sure whether it's worth it or not. And if I was recommending the Brother PE 800 versus the Brother PE 900, especially if someone's on a budget, I would definitely say to just get the PE 800 and save all the money. I don't think there's enough of a difference in the machines to warrant the huge difference in price. So that's my honest opinion. I bought both of those machines myself, not sponsored. So that's what I think. Okay. Denise says, yeah, the bend ones. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, but okay. All right, Jackie says, I gifted my Eversewn based on your review to my granddaughter just a few months ago. That is amazing. She was taking sewing in school, initially bought it because of its portability and to do small projects. I want to know, how does she like it so far? Is she getting into sewing? I think it's awesome that young people are getting into sewing. I think one issue is that I think a lot of people that get frustrated with sewing as a beginner are using like really bad machines, and that they don't understand that the machine is the problem and it's not them. So I want to know, how does she like the Eversewn so far? I think it's a solid machine for the price. Oh, okay. Denise says bent racks and baskets. Okay, so I think you're talking about the IKEA SCOTUS. Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, some of them I like. I actually returned one of the accessories I bought for the IKEA SCOTUS because I just didn't like it, so I just returned it. So I did have to drive to IKEA to return. Oh, and also one of the, oh yeah. So the baskets that came damaged, I ended up having to drive back to the store and return them. So I ended up doing that and getting new ones. All right, Flawless says, I can't use the app on my Brother embroidery machine. Good to know that it's not that good. It's really not that good. You're not missing out on anything, Flawless. Don't worry about that. All right, Warpaint Unicorn says, Janome Memory Craft 550E is what I consider a higher end hobby embroidery machine because of the size of the hoops before going towards a commercial body. I would like to see more brands do this range. Hey, that's totally cool. What's the size of the hoop on it? I think 6x10 is pretty good. 5x7 isn't bad, but as I get more into embroidery, I do find that I kind of wish it was like just a little bit bigger. I think if the PE 900 was a 6x10, I probably wouldn't even want another machine after that. That would be totally good. Just my opinion, though. And yeah, let's get the music back on. Hopefully that's not super loud. All right, and I have the volume set at 20. In a previous live stream, it was like super loud. So hopefully this is not too crazy here, but let's have some fun here. It's a Thursday night. Okay, so Warpaint Unicorns, oh man. All right, your embroidery size is 7.9 by 14.2 inches. Okay, that's all. How much is that one anyways? I'll have to look that up. Let's look it up now, actually. That's cool. That's an awesome size. Like, that would be, I would be totally happy with the hoop size. That's, okay, Janome. All right, let's look it up. Janome 5500E. Okay, that's, all right, I'm seeing a few different ones. Okay. Oh, that's not, okay, that's not terrible. Okay. Okay, here's one from Sewing Machines Plus for I'll share this. This one is about $2,400. Okay, so this is I think this is the one, okay. Why do all these sites have so many freaking pop-ups too? All right, this one is on sale for $2,400. That's not bad. Okay, this one looks really nice. Maybe I should get this one. Holy crap, look at, is this a sewing machine too, or is this just embroidery? That's interesting. Oh, I think this is just embroidery, I think. That's a very large hoop size. Yeah, that one looks pretty cool. Okay, yeah, wow, okay, so that's like, let's say 8 by 11? Okay, this one's 8 by 11. That's still pretty good. Let me see if Amazon has it. Let me check real quick. Janome 5500E. Let's see if Amazon sells this. Okay, Amazon does sell this too. Okay, let me go here. Oh, and this one has free Prime shipping. That's cool. All right, okay, yeah, you can now see the price of the PE800. That's the lowest I've seen the PE800 in quite some time. So again, this is a pretty pricey machine. But this does have a pretty, I do like that LCD, I do like that touchscreen and its color. That's a pretty nice looking machine. That's not bad at all. Okay, yeah, so this one is a 7, so this one's about 8 by 11. I think for $2,400 that's not bad. Not bad at all. I think that also looks very large, so it's got to be pretty. That's the thing. These things take up a lot of space too, and they're super heavy. Like I'm probably, all right, at some point after I do like a few more videos with the PE800, I'm probably gonna sell it not because I don't like it, but because I don't have room for it. And that's one of the problems I have with sewing machines, is that I kind of need to like phase a few out just to have room for other stuff. Like I own a lot of sewing machines, and I really do need to like pare down the collection. So I'm probably going to be doing that sometime in the future. All right, Jackie says she loves the Eversewn. That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear it. All right, War Paint and Unicorns, you paid $4,000, but it's a start for brands to aim for. Yeah, that's pretty good. And honestly, even if there's like a slight difference in what you have versus the one we just looked at, for $2,400, that's not bad. Like, I don't think that's terrible. All right, we got another Janome fan. We got Nikitty Workshop. I have the Janome 500E. Okay, cool. And also, the other thing is you can probably get a lot of these machines used off of like Facebook Marketplace or like eBay and get them for a lot less. Like, that's the thing. Sewing machines are a lot like cars. In fact, like that the minute you take it home, like you get a lot of depreciation on the machine. So if you buy used machines, you could probably get some really good deals. All right, we need competition in this range for sure. Yes, like honestly, even a 6 by 10 inch hoop would be amazing. Like I'm kind of tired of all of these sewing machine manufacturers making 5 by 7 inch hoops or 4 by 4 inch. It's just not like the 4 by 4 inch, like you can barely do anything on it. So it's like not even worth it. So I don't know. All right. Topic, comparing serger and cover stitch, which is better and more versatile? Ooh. I think it depends on what you're trying to do, I guess. I feel, honestly, I wouldn't put one over the other. I think if you're doing a lot of clothing and you're doing a lot of knits, you kind of need both, in my opinion. Now, I only have a serger. I would like to get a cover stitch machine. I'm not really sure which one I would get though. So I've been kind of thinking about that. Maybe I think maybe if I sell the Brother PE800, maybe I would get a cover stitch machine at that point. So I do plan to I am going to be selling the PE800 at some point after I'm going to do a couple more videos, like comparison videos or like a review, like a long-term review. And eventually I kind of need to let that one go just because basically the PE800 and the PE900 are like so similar. I just don't need two, and I don't have like an embroidery business or anything. So there's absolutely no reason for me to have both of them. So I don't know. But yeah, if you have any other questions, you got me here. You just, anything you're like burning to know, drop it in there. And if I can answer, I will. But I'm having fun. We're having fun here. I just shot a video on this new Sew Magnetic cutting system that I'm excited to edit. I'm running out of water here. Probably not going to stand too much longer, but hey, last call. This is like a bar. Last chance for questions here if you got anything. Oh, how's the bunny? I think she's chilling in her pen right now. She's been sleeping a lot today. She's good though. She's very mischievous though. So she likes to get into trouble. She did chew my kitchen cabinets, not great. I'm a little bit sad about that. So that's kind of a bummer. All right, so don't own it, but Janome 550E embroidery machine is $2,999 Canadian on Amazon. Not bad for the extra large size hoop. Yeah, and in American, it's like in US dollars, it was only $2,400. That's a pretty reasonable price, I think, for something with that hoop size. So that might be a good, I kind of want to try that one out now, but man, I really don't need another embroidery machine. So we'll see. That is a pretty pricey machine though. So, but hey, thank you for sharing that model. I think that's it looks like a solid machine. I also own a Janome machine. I think they're good machines. I'm also thinking, should I sell my Janome 7700? I haven't used it in like years. And now that I figured out how to put a walking foot on my Juki Industrial, I don't even really need the Janome. So I'm kind of thinking like, should I sell that one? I don't know. So we'll see. I barely, like, I can't remember the last time I used my Janome, and it was a lot of money too, so we'll see. But hey guys, I might check out for the night, get something to eat, and I need to give my voice a rest. But this has been a lot of fun. Leave me a comment down if you're watching on the replay, and if you are here, you're not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button on your way out, because I am trying my best to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm pretty close. We only got about 250 more to go. So if you could do me that favor, that would be greatly appreciated. But this has been a lot of fun. Also, I am trying to, I want to do a video about Jo-Ann fabrics that they're probably not going to like, but I need to do a little bit more, I need to do some investigative work. So we'll see. We'll see. But I want to try to do that. We'll see if I can get that together, but I need to be careful with that one, because the live stream I want to do about Jo-Ann's is, you know, probably, you know, they're probably not going to be very happy about it. So we'll see. But thank you all for joining me this evening. Hopefully we'll be doing a little bit more live streaming soon. But I hope everyone has a great night. And again, you've been watching Sewing Report Live, and we are having a good one. But I'll see you guys again in the next show. And remember, keep it real. And